Okay, this may be a little bit longer video, but I promise you it'll be worth it. At least I hope it will for you. We're going to talk about, the thing that's killing photography as an art. And it's something as simple as pinch and zoom. Now, I know every photographer does the pinch and zoom on every image they come across. The thing is, when you don't do the pinch and zoom, you just look at the image and enjoy it. You know it was a great photograph because it engaged you. It engaged you enough not to be able to pixel peep or take a closer look. And believe me, without you even knowing it, you're doing that. And I do it. Jesus, I was looking at a magazine the other day and I tried to pinch and zoom a piece of paper because we're so in that habit. And that's not what photography is about. When I was working at the newspaper many, many years ago, we would shoot film, we'd scan it in, and we'd crop it to the perfect aspect ratio that we liked, the vision that we had for this photo. And we took time and great effort to make it just perfect. And then we'd see it in print the next day, and they would crop the shit out of it. They would put it into a square or put it in a horizontal. They would do whatever they had to do to fit it where they needed it to fit. And I just remember every time they did that, we would lose our shit over this. I mean, it was the most horrible thing you could do to us, is crop our image after we, spent that much time making it just right for our vision of what that image should be. And today, I mean, the only thing that photographers do is zoom in instead of actually enjoying the image the way the artist intended it to be viewed. You wouldn't go up to a Picasso and try to zoom in on it. You sit there and enjoy the image. It's that experience that makes an image. And it's the photographer's vision that you're destroying when you pinch and zoom, even on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you're looking at images, because we don't look at many prints nowadays, which is a shame because, that's lacking. And I've said before on this channel, that an image has to have depth and texture and to be interesting. That's why I'm like the out of focus, the bokeh, whatever the hell they want to call it now. So everybody's so enthralled by this, having one eye in focus and the rest of it out of focus. And it's just, it's not art, it's just a technique. And unfortunately, that technique can be done with an iPhone. and most of the images today from back in the day can be done with an iPhone and done better. But you're losing the art of photography by pinch and zoom. Now, you may, and I bring this up because my daughter herself does this. I'll do some photos for her, and I'll send them to her, and she'll zoom in, and she goes, "Oh, look at this eyelash. Can you fix this?" And I'm like, no one's going to see that. And she goes, "No, look, if you zoom in." And I'm like, people don't zoom in. Average people, photographers do. But when people go through images and they stop on an image, they don't stop on it to zoom in, to pixel peep. They stop on it because it is intriguing to them the way the photographer meant it to be. It engages them as a whole image, not for something they can zoom in on. And yeah, I'm sure there are one or two people out there that are not photographers that want to pixel peep, but believe it or not, there's not that many that do what you think they're doing. They enjoy the image as the photographer meant it to be. So for you to sit at your computer and pixel peep every image and painstakingly manipulate every image so they can pixel peep it is kind of crazy, and it's kind of losing the art of photography. I know that this is a touchy subject with especially young photographers and the new gear. Everyone's response is, it's new, this is what's in, and this is the techniques, and you don't have to be, very proficient with a camera anymore. The cameras pretty much do everything for you, straight out. And I know the argument is, well, you know, the camera can't do anything unless there's a photographer behind it. Absolutely, but the stuff that these cameras are producing with no knowledge of camera or technique or or even how to focus or how to use ISO or shutter speeds, or I mean, you don't really need to know how to use a camera today. Honestly, you don't, and no one's going to tell me different. I mean, you can put a camera on aperture priority and let everything else fix itself, and you're a photographer. No, you may not have the best photos in the world, but technically there's nothing wrong with them, you know? And that's, you know, whether that's good or bad, it doesn't matter. It's what the world we live in, you know. So enjoy your automatic everything. I don't care how you got the image, but that final image should be one that they don't want to zoom. They just want to enjoy that image. And we're losing that. And photographers are the core of this. And I can't even say photographers, I'm going to say mechanical device users are losing this. You know, you're so enthralled with pixel peeping versus that whole image. You know, I mean, I can shoot a whole image with my iPhone. But if I pixel peep it, where does the image go? It doesn't matter. The image just, it's gone. You know, the idea that you created a piece of art is completely gone. You know, to make it in photography today, copying everybody else, and that's, you know, I don't know if it's still a big thing, but competing with the sun with flash. You know, that was just everybody's thing. They had to have high-speed shutter and compete with the sun and make day look like night and use flash. And the sad part is half of them used it incorrectly. You know, they'd put the flash on the opposite side of the sun or where any kind of light was coming in, and it looked odd and they didn't know why. And now it's depth of field and shallow round bokeh balls. I mean, who freaking cares? Like, what does your image look like when you stand back and look at it? Look at it like a piece of art the way it's supposed to be. And I don't care if you're shooting, you know, a ring for a manufacturer or clothing or whatever you're shooting. It's the full image. It's that whole image that matters. Nothing else. You know, to make it in photography, you need depth and texture and a story to your images. And until you get this, you know, yeah, I'm gonna give you something. It's free, and I'm gonna upgrade your camera and lenses for $0, no matter what you're using, and that includes an iPhone. I don't care if it's a crop sensor, a full sensor, a medium format. Here's how to upgrade your equipment to make it perfect. For the next week, don't zoom in on your images. Yeah, make your crops, make an artistic piece with that crop, or don't crop, you know, use it out of camera, whatever you want to do, but don't zoom in. Don't pinch and zoom, don't zoom in with your computer. Look at that image as a whole and look at it as a piece of art versus a pixel peeping, what is my lens doing, what is my sensor doing? Just don't do it. For a whole week, crop, upload, forget. Make it a piece of art that should be hung on a wall and let people enjoy your art the way it was intended. Don't think they're going to pixel peep. Don't think about yourself pixel peeping it. Don't do it. Just enjoy the art. I guarantee you that camera that you have is going to be, holy cow, this really produces beautiful images. Now, Leica has an app, I believe it's LFI. You know, I really recommend you download that app. Honestly, download the app and look at images on there. You are going to be so pleasantly surprised. Not because it's Leica images or, you know, it's because of the Leica look, No, it's because you can't zoom in on these images. And if you have it on an iPad and you just scroll through the images, scroll through the galleries, you can't zoom. You can only enjoy the images the way the photographer intended. And I guarantee you, you're going to appreciate these images. Whether they're good, bad, or otherwise, you're still going to appreciate these images because you can't pixel peep. You can just enjoy the art the way it was intended. Try it this week. I promise you, it'll bring depth to your photos. It will make you look at your images a whole new way. And when you shoot your images, same thing. You know, yeah, everybody's gonna look and chimp on the back of their camera, but don't zoom in on this. Don't look for critical focus. Look for that image as a piece of art the way it's supposed to be viewed, like it was going to be printed and like it was going to be looked on a gallery wall. I hope this helps. This is a passionate thing of mine, and I really want you to at least try this week. You know, just try it. I think you're really going to be pleasantly surprised with the outcome.